Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Okay, so today we are going to disclose the main important things about the Ilm-ul-Firasa. So, if you remember, I gave you 2 months to enjoy yourself. Did I? Okay, I remember I said from the next month, the next turn, or the turn after, the world is not going to be as it is now. I mean, as it was before. So today we are going to disclose, so everyone will just look at each other and then they will discover something new for themselves. Okay, so I can see some new faces. So just to briefly go through the basis of Ilm-ul-Firasa. Ilm-ul-Firasa is face reading. So what do we mean by face reading? There are mainly 2 ways of face reading. The first is just by looking at some person, you will get some thought. Something just hits your mind, and that will be just a whisper of yourself, you can say. Okay? For example, do you know when we sleep, our ruh will be released to go back to its world. Am I right? And then we see some strange dreams. And that dreams, sometimes you can give some interpretation, and sometimes you should get it as it is. For example, let's suppose, in my dream, when I was, recently I went about 2-3 months ago, I went to Africa, just as a holiday, you can say. And then in my dream, I saw something. And what was that thing? So my teeth, one tooth from underneath, lower tooth came out. And then I did pick it up and I couldn't believe. And I said, so easy. I mean, so quick and so easy. And then when I woke up, I tried to avoid this thought. Why? Because the meaning of that is one of my relatives from my mother's side passed away. Okay, and I was afraid that it could be my mother. Because when I picked it up, I couldn't believe. Means I didn't want to believe. Okay, but anyway, afterward, after about a week after me coming back, I just gave a call to my mother, and then she said that my uncle passed away. Okay, my uncle passed away, maternal uncle actually, and he was very young. Okay, well, something about 55 and over. I couldn't believe. Why? Because we planned with my uncle to meet each other this year actually. So he supposed to be coming to visit me, and he had some knowledge also, this type of knowledge, and he's supposed to be teaching me this year in the summer, so after a month time. Okay, so, but how did I know that someone is going to die? It's because of the signs of the dream. Okay, but then how I could see it? Because when I will be sleeping, my ruh will be released, detached from my body, and it will go to its own world. So that situation, that status, sometimes could happen during the awakeful status also. Okay. So, for example, do you know some people, I don't know what do they call it in English, but in wakeful status, they can see things happening far away. Okay? And normally, governments, they use them for the criminal things, because they do get some, you can say, information. Okay, so anyway, so each single person has got some degree of it, but some of us very high and some of us just average, which is non-recognizable, you can say. Okay, so let's suppose the first type of face reading, just as soon as you will see someone's face, straight away it will hit your mind that he looks like a dragon, or he looks like a rat, for example. Okay, so then actually just now you've read his face. But normally, we just neglect that thought, because that thought will be the first thought ever, even before any conversation. Okay, but most of us just neglect it. Okay, but they say the first thought that you have, that is the correct thought. Okay, so that's one side. And the second is to just see and look and compare. And that's what I'm going to teach you in here. Okay, and normally how it happens, just by looking at the person, you should compare him to the animal, some of the animals. Okay, so but if you will compare him correctly, then he will not be even one drop of any difference between him and the character of that animal. Okay, for example, let's suppose that his character is dog. So for example, just by looking at his face, you will discover for yourself that he is dog. I said dog is very faithful. Dog may die, but will not let his friend to die. Okay, but in the same time is, you can say, a very low character, you know, is not noble man. Dog cannot be noble, but low. Okay, so it is, you can say, very low character, but very faithful. Okay, so normally people, if you have a friend who is dog and you are invited, you can say, to appear in front of the audience, you will not bring your friend who is dog next to you. But when everyone will disown you, you will go to no one else but only to your friend who is dog. Okay, so then how do you recognize the face if it is a dog or anything else? So you will recognize his face by comparing. By comparing how thick is his hair, how thick nose, okay, even the skin condition. So if it is very slim, so maybe it could be bird. But if it is very tough, so then it could be maybe elephant. Okay, as well as you look at the shape of the eyes. Okay, as well as you look at the shape of the body. Okay, how big are his, maybe from his back, and how slim are his legs, okay, and arm, and how tough are the fingers. Okay, inshallah today I'm going to describe maybe two animals. I will give you example of two animals. One is the lion, king of the animals, because as far as I can see, everyone thinks that he's animal. He came here thinking that he is animal, lion. But you know, in my life, I saw only two lions. Well, one of them is myself. So two lions, okay, two lions. And because it's not very often, because even in the nature, lions are not something that you see often. Am I right? In very big location, for example, in Africa, there will be only one lion and maybe 20 lionesses, and that's it. And the rest are just hyenas, you can say wolves, maybe again one or two tigers, and that type of things. Okay, but the majority will be either birds or either, do you know the animals like, do you know the, what do they call it? Do you know rat? Do you know that ground animals? What do they call them? Sorry?
Rodents.
Rodents. So majority are like that. Okay, for example, today we have over 70% in here who are sitting are presenting them kind of animals. Okay, so but you have to be aware of several issues, because people, even though if they know the character perfectly, most of us, we imagine, we think what we are, you know, we imagine, even if I think that I'm lion, but in myself, I know my weaknesses and I know that I'm not lion, but somehow I can have an idea of what I'm going to be. One of the birds, for example. Okay, but we are all the time, we will be trying to just cover up our real face. Okay, cover up our real face, and then by doing what? Sometimes by acting differently. Okay, for example, I'm greedy. So for example, I'm tiger, so I'm very greedy. Okay, and then I will try to show off that I'm generous. How? So for example, I may invite all of you to have some food in the takeaway. Okay, or maybe I may pay for the, do you know, the fees of the taxi or maybe the bus for all of you, just to hide that I'm greedy. Okay, so you shouldn't be cheated by these type of things. But whatever you see in front of your face, do you know the shape the shape of the body. So that's what it is. But whatever he does, just ignore it. Because most of us try to, you can say, hide our real character. Does make sense? Okay, am I hitting someone's heart now or not? Okay, so means I'm really happy actually. Okay, anyway, and also, so today, inshallah, we are going to describe the predators. Okay, so the predator animals. Yeah, what's the question there? You want to ask something? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's start from the lion then. Please, can you put your hand up if any of you think that he's a lion? Anyone, please? I'm joking. I know what I am. Okay. So if it's possible, if I can just have a tissue, please. Yeah, he's. Okay, so now just for the last time, just have a look on each other, because what I will describe now, so it will be after that it will be different. Okay, so let's start from the head. Lion, the person. Do you know the equivalent person, the one who is equal to the lion in terms of a human being, equals a lion? First of all, he will have big head and wide face. Okay, now we excluded 90% because mashallah most of you guys are like that. You know, and also very important thing, so it depends on each nationality. For example, I am coming from a country, Uzbekistan, and normally our head is big. Okay, so just by looking at me, you shouldn't think that I am a lion. Why? Because you should be Uzbeki, or you have to spend long time with the people from Uzbekistan to distinguish if my head is big or small, or maybe it is just average. Do you understand what I mean? And the same thing about you guys. For example, do you know one of the descriptions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They say, it's written in Shama'il, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had big head and it was just a bit circular, like round, you know. So it doesn't mean that he had Chinese head, Chinese face. It is according to their own measurement. Have you seen the Saudi people? So for example, the Asian, Pakistan and India, they do have a normally tight face, am I right? Not the wide one. But if you go to Saudi, you will find yourself having really big face. Because the Saudi face is so tight, you know, very tight. Maybe I put just one finger and it will be from the ear to the other ear, you know. So the wide, you know, circular face, according to the Saudis, I would say it will be, maybe your face is maybe his face. Okay, but my face, according to the Saudi, it will be very big, very wide. Does make sense? So, if you want to read someone's face, you have to be aware about his background. Okay, so most of you will be unable to read my face because of that. Because you are not familiar with our people, as well as my nose is not the real nose. It is just damaged. Okay, so it's just smashed. So you will be unable to describe my face. Okay? What did you say about me? Yes, please. What was it? Cat. Bobcat. Okay. Okay. You know, so that's why I do call the people here just Wahhabis, because they don't respect their teacher. Have you seen, let's suppose that we will go to Oxford University and the student is calling his teacher, "Oh, Mr. Bobcat," what do you think? Okay. Okay, so now, so the lion, man who is lion will have big head, okay, and wide face. And also, he will have very wide mouth also. Okay? Okay, so, no any of you have a wide mouth. And also, he will have wide forehead. Okay? Not in terms of like width like this, but even like that also. Okay, so wide forehead. Also, he will have an eyebrow which is just a bit higher than his forehead. Does make sense? So if I've excluded everyone who is sitting in here. And also his eye is a bit muddy but very deep. Do you know the muddy and deep eyes? So for example, do you know when it is black, so it is very dark black. When it is red, it is very fresh red, crystallic red. But sometimes they will be muddy. Do you know that black spot of the eye? Sometimes it will be muddy, not fresh, not like crystallic. Do you understand? Okay, so that is another thing. And also, will have very wide neck and not long, but closer to be short. Okay, so for example, he has long neck, okay, as well as slim. Okay, so the lion has wide and short neck. Okay, and also normally ladies with the ladies it will be different. The lioness will have smaller head and tighter forehead. Okay, so you cannot compare the male lion to the ladies. They do have their own thing. So for example, the character of the lion, that he's generous, but lioness is very greedy. Okay, so it is just different. And also will have very big nose. So it's not tall nose, you know, it's not like a sharp, but big. Big doesn't mean flat, big. Do you understand the meaning of big nose? Anyone has big nose here? You have sharp, long. But big is even, you know, the width will be big also. Well, no one except me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and also, normally the hair will not be straight. Okay, so here I've excluded myself also. It will be more to be tough, but not straight. Do you know zigzag? What do they call it? Yeah, so I would call, maybe your hair is the hair of lion. So the man with the lion character will have the hair like yours. Okay, yeah, and also will be very hairy man. Not only chest, but even the back, shoulders also. Okay, and will have wide. From the top is very wide, but from underneath, you know, the belly button and underneath is very slim. Okay, so it's just very slim and tight legs. Okay, and even he doesn't have a back. Okay, so what do they call the back? So there is no any fat on the back. Okay, so it's just flat. Back and legs is just flat. Okay, so there is nothing in there. Okay, as well as very slim legs. Okay, but chest is very wide and shoulders are very far. Okay, and do you know that the places, the joints are big, not slim. Okay, so for example, with the wolf, the wolf man will have a tight joints. Okay, so these joints, but with the lion is actually big ones. Okay, and the palm, when you compare the length of the finger with its width, so it will be more to say short fingers, but it's not short, long ones, but because it's very fat fingers, big fingers. Anyone has big fingers? Can you show your hand? No. So, but do you understand what I mean?
Proportionally.
Exactly, yes. So when you compare the width to the length, so width will be more than the length. For some reason, the white English people, most of them, they do have that condition. So that's why maybe we may not be able to read the face of the Englishman. Do you understand what I mean? But English people, because they do distinguish when it is a big finger and when it's slim one, so that's why maybe they may read each other better. Okay. So what do you think about my finger? When you look into the width and the length, what is better? What is more? Sorry? Length. No, I would say it's equal. It's equal. Because I know my country and the people, the condition of... So it is equal actually. Okay. So but did you understand how it looks like with the lion? Yeah. And also... and also, do you know the veins and arteries which will appear on the skin? So that will be very wide and appearing, just coming out of the skin, you know? Okay, even the veins in here, okay, will appear. And maybe when they get angry, maybe, do you know, the veins on the forehead may appear. Sorry? And also, it's very few. Maybe if you want to distinguish the lion, so straight away look at the back and the legs. So it's only few animals will have that condition. So big head, okay, with slim legs. So most likely it's to be a lion, okay. And also normally in terms of a character, inshallah, after this we are going to read the character of the animal. So there are in total 28 predator animals, okay, and we have about 2-3 of them amongst us today here. Do I have a projector? No, that's fine, because some of the animals, it's very rare, maybe you may not recognize by the name. Anyway, so that is about the lion. Anyone wants to ask, or anyone wants to give some feedback about it? Do I have any lions today here? Okay, so well, ladies cannot know because the lioness is slightly different. Okay, so the chest will be tighter. Okay, and the head will be also smaller, and forehead is again tighter, and also yes.
Because quite a lot of ladies, you tell so like that, the shape of the ladies.
No, because you know, with the ladies, to be lion is actually a person will be proud, but to be lioness is not that much, you know.
Yeah, but then maybe you tell what the. So now you've already explained what a lion is.
Yeah. So whatever we did say about the lion, and only the differences is mainly about the forehead, okay, and the head, okay, so it's smaller, okay, so and also in terms.
Is it still round?
Sorry?
Is it still round?
Yes, of course, yes. So that will stay. I would say like more like egg. Okay, in here from here will be just a bit taller, okay, as well as the leg. The leg will not be tighter. You know, the width of the leg will not be tight, slim. Okay, yeah, and also the chest is not wide. Okay, but in terms of like fingers and in terms of, you know, the joints, it's nearly the same. Okay, yeah, and also, but lioness is, do you know the women of caprice? Do you know? Nothing pleases them. Okay, so if there is people sharing something, so they want the biggest share. Okay, and sharp tongue, you know, so just trying to be on the top all the time. Okay, but with the lion is slightly different. Okay, so when lion is king actually. Okay, but when lion will not go down, you know, to fight over money or to fight over food, you know, we'll just let it go. So it is to be lioness is not actually honor. Okay. Anyway, the next one is a tiger. Do you think any? Yeah, please.
Are you going to go through the character of all the animals?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Now I'm just giving example of 2 animals. After that, we'll go back to 28 animals, the predator animals, to go through the character very briefly. Okay. Okay, so then, one thing is very quite obvious. Let's suppose that I am in character like a lion. So whatever you expect from the animal lion, you should expect from me. But anything, for example, stealing. So the lion man never steals. Do you understand? Okay, lion man, if there is friction, then lion definitely kills. Doesn't scratch and goes away, kills. Do you understand? Okay, so so it's impossible for the lion to be, those low people who backbite and make small things, So it's impossible for the lion man to be like that. Okay, so all the time he's noble. Okay, so I would prefer to have an enemy who is lion than to have an enemy who is hyena. Do you understand what I mean? Because he stays noble. Small shortcomings from me, he will just ignore them. Maybe he is better. He is better friend when he is enemy than hyena when he's your friend, Okay, so because his nobility doesn't allow him to go low to speak about your small bits and bytes. But when hyena is your friend, you can expect him to backbite you. Because that's what hyena is, It doesn't make sense. So basically you have to compare. So when you find the lion man, then you have to convert the character behaving of the lion animal into the level of a human being. Then when basically you can know what to expect from him and what to relax, not expect, because it never can happen. And also it's impossible that you will have in front of you a mixed of lion with the dog, because lion having relationship with the dog, they never produce kids. Am I right? But lion with tiger, it can. As well as horse with the donkey, can. But horse with the crocodile, it never can be. Do you understand what I mean? So the mixed characters, it could happen in very tight, you can say, portion. Okay, but man is just pure one animal. Okay. Yes, what's the question there? You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, I want to ask, you told that Hazrat Ali was lion of Allah.
Yeah.
The character of the lion as well is Ali.
Yeah. He had that, yes.
All right.
No, even for example, they say he was very hairy man, wide chest.
Yeah.
Okay, and this. So just go to read his description. Okay, and then you will see. But normally we do not. We try to not to apply that on the Sahaba, because some of us may think bad, Do you know? So even, for example, characters, you cannot remove your character, but you can decrease it or control it. For example, you are a tiger, 100% you are greedy. But you can control it or you can decrease it on the level in which it doesn't harm the people. Do you understand? Okay, so all of Islam, religion of Islam is all about that. It's impossible to remove the character, but Islam teaches you how to control it or how to decrease it on the level in which it doesn't harm the people, other people. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that is about the lion. Okay, so and also, as I said, in my whole life I saw only two. Okay, two people. So it is all the time people of very high, you can say, concern. They do not get concerned about the pizza in which takeaway being better tested, So if you speak about that type of things with them, so they get bored. They don't enjoy it. Okay? But in terms of setting up a takeaway, that's what concerns them, So it's the people of high concern, noble people. Yes? Okay, so so the main thing, first of all, when it does strategy, so his strategy will be all the time killing strategy. Okay, for example, when it makes plan to hunt, it's impossible that he will not be successful in that hunting. And plan is all the time killing. Okay, so a lion can bear with you for a long time, but when it's, fed up, definitely you are going to be killed. Okay, and being killed, it doesn't mean that he will kill you, but you can say psychologically, definitely he will finish you off. For example, you are having a discussion, and you are having a dialogue with a nobleman, lion. Okay, debating. So you may make up story, insulting him for a couple of times. He will just ignore. But when he will be fed up, he will say some words in which after that you will be unable to look at the face of the people. You will get so ashamed. So he will kill you psychologically, you know. That does make sense. Okay, so that's one thing. And in another thing, it's they say the scholars of Ilm-ul-Firasa say that it's arrogant, but I would say it's not arrogant, but it's very high self-respecting. Do you understand? So, but because it's a bit higher than normal, so that's why it looks like arrogance. Okay, for example, let's suppose that do you know the people of small backbiting and lying people, he may not go to shake their hand. Okay, and people think that it's out of arrogance, but I say it's self-respecting, because to go to that of people is disrespecting yourself, you know. So, okay, so let's say that it is arrogant. Okay, so it is two main, you can say, negative things. So one is it's very arrogant, and the second is it kills. Okay, so there is no anything in between. Okay, so that's two things. And now the second is the tiger man. Tiger man. Bismillah. You know, just by having a plastic surgery, converting yourself into getting these conditions is not going to convert your character also. You will remain as whatever you are. Okay. Anyway, so here is a tiger. First of all, tiger and lioness, they share the same thing, two same things. Head in comparison to the body will be just slightly smaller. So when it is with the lion, head, just when you look at the head, it will be in comparison to the body, it will be just bigger, you know, just a little bit bigger. But with the lioness and tiger, it will be other way around. As well as the forehead is very tight, both of them, lioness and the tiger also. And also, do you know when lion looks at you, he is very deep looking. But when tiger looks at you, he's very sharp looking. Do you distinguish? So maybe I would say how you look is deep. Do I have anyone with sharp looking? Do you understand the sharp looking? So when they look, it's very sharp. Do you understand? Okay, so that's the main thing. And also in terms of the mouth, it will be tighter. Okay, smaller, not very wide as a lion, but it's a bit tighter. And also, in terms of the skin condition, it is the people who have really small amount of hair. Okay, so even when you touch their skin, it looks like there is not any hair on their skin, you know. Okay, do I have anyone like that? Maybe you are. Yes, so you have just small bits, so maybe you are the one here. And also, do you know their eyebrow with the lion, it was very wide, big, thick, as well as just, you know, just like coming up from the forehead. But with them, it's just on the level of the forehead and also very slim, tight. Okay? Well, most of us, I would say, no. Maybe your eyebrow is tight, actually. Tight eyebrow. And also, when you compare the do you know the neck of the lion to the neck of the tiger, you know, taking in consideration the rest of the body, so the neck of the lion is very tight, I mean short, but with the tiger is a bit longer in comparison to the rest of the body. And also in terms of the chest, it's not wide. I would say it is close to be average. Okay, tighter, but close to be average. Okay, but when it's with the lion, it's very wide chest. Okay, so what else we can say about the tiger? You know, when lion walks very calm but long steps. But with the tiger, it's, you can say, strong walk, but tight footsteps, small footsteps, you know. Yeah. But both of them, they walk very solid. Do you understand? So when they put a feet very solidly, you know, it will be just lying just perfectly. And also, in terms of the character, inshallah, we're going to talk the difference between the voice of the lion and the voice of the tiger. So the lion is very loud. Okay, so maybe if lion would be sitting in my place, maybe someone would hear from outside also. Okay, tiger is blunt. It does make sense. It is blunt, a blunt voice. So that I would say is the difference between the lion and tiger. And maybe in the character level, I would say tiger is very quick to change, but lion is very slow to change the decision. Okay, well, I would say most of us, they change their decision very quickly. Okay, but lion either does whatever he was planning for, or either he will say, so he will see that he doesn't have enough strength to do it. Okay, so it's either one of them two. Okay, there is no any middle way for them. Yes, what's the question then? I did explain it. So tigress. Okay. We have one sitting here. Tigress. Yes, from there. So it's just lion, tigress. So in terms of the tiger and tigress, there will not be many differences. Okay. So I would say except one thing. The decision in terms of tiger, when it decides something, it may change very quickly. But with the tigress, it's more towards lion. Either it will do it, or either it will be convinced that doesn't have enough strength. Okay, that's one thing. As well as both of them, they do have blunt voice. Okay, in terms of the not wide mouth, it is with both of them, tiger and tigress. Okay, so and maybe another thing we may say, both of them are greedy, but tigress is even more greedy. Okay, because tiger is greedy animal, but tigress is even more. Okay, for example, let's suppose that tiger may have 10, for example, gazelles, and it may give away only one leg, but tigress, even that leg, will keep it for itself. Okay, so that's there is no any big differences actually. Okay, so these are the main descriptions. So from here we can understand that mainly the face reading is based on comparing the person to one of the animals. It's impossible, as I said before, that this person has the head of a wolf, but then body of, for example, a snake. It never can be. Okay, so in here it could be only one thing, that you couldn't read the face properly. Okay, because definitely there is an animal, which is how you are trying to explain. Okay, so the body of the snake and head of the dog. So what it could be, most likely it could be maybe a crocodile, or maybe lizard, one of them two. It does make sense, because it's again the long face, okay, long face, as well as the long body, you know. So that's how it could be. Anyway, so these are actually the main differences. Now let's go to the 28 types of the predators. Can I ask you one thing? How many predators do you think we have today here? One there. Sorry? Okay. Two. So am I still bobcat? Is it? Okay.
So you know the character of the tiger?
Sorry?
Can you go a bit more detail in the character of the tiger?
It's here. Now I'll be reading it out. Do you think that you're a tiger?
No.
Okay. He knows? Okay. Okay, so now, as we said, there are 28 different types of animals. If we can just... can you switch my laptop on, please? Because I brought the pictures because some of the animals is not easy to... I think it's from... No, it's okay, just leave it, it's okay. No, it's okay. For example, do you know the meaning of caracal? Caracal, or how to spell it? Caracal. It's a cat. Caracal. What's caracal? It's something looks like a bobcat, am I right? But it's like in the desert, exactly. That one. Okay, so everyone knows? Okay, then we can work it. You know, there are two ways of finding your animal. We say we have to be so perfect to recognize the animal from the face, okay, but not from the character. Why? Because if you recognize the animal from the character, then it's too late, because that will come when you will just lose out everything. Am I right? But if you will recognize the animal from the face, so it is the time when you can catch up actually. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, so now if you go to, maybe some of the brothers actually went to the website and they ask you questions. Do you do this? Do you do that? And after that they will give you an answer. Okay, but then that's not our way. Because normally, for example, let's suppose that you are going to set up a business and you have a partner. So if you use Ilm-ul-Firasa by face, then you will know is he good to deal with him or not. But if you want to find out what animal he is from his character, then maybe some of the characters will come out when he will just cheat you, when he will just take all of the business to him and kick you out of the business. Then you will say, oh, actually it was a crocodile, for example, So, but then it is too late. Okay, so let's try to learn the Ilm-ul-Firasa by the no look please, just forget about it, just come back please, come back. We're happy like that, just come. So from here, if you can please, one advice, if you can just watch more documentaries on animals, or just watch more photos of the animals, it will give you more, you can say, understanding of the animals, Because right now, for example, you spend over 20 years with the people, so you distinguish the features of the people. Now you are missing only one thing, that is to learn maybe zoology. Okay, so you can help out yourself, because mashallah now internet is very accessible and information is very accessible. So now we are just going to the characters of the animals. Okay. No, it's okay. Okay, so the first one is the lion, the character of the lion. First of all, it is very generous. Okay, so if a president of the country would be a lion, definitely that country will do very, very good. Okay, they will be really perfect. Actually, I used to think that, Hitler was a lion. I used to think like that. But anyway, I've changed my mind because of some certain issues. Anyway, so the first is, it's concerned only about very high level things. So it is noble. Okay? And very generous. And then has very high, you can say, sober. Very good patience. So can work on the project for 10 years and will not get bored. Okay, so that is lion. Also, when it puts the hand, so now you have to forget about whatever it did put hand on. For example, now you are basically in the competition with the lion man to buy or to get a rent of some office. So you have to forget it, because it will pay anything just to take it. Because lions, whenever they put their hand on something, they do not release it before taking it to themselves. Okay, so that what it is. And also, it gets angry very badly. It may bear for a long time, but when it gets angry, so it's very bad. Their anger is not bearable, you know, it's very bad. Their anger is very bad. And very, you can say, brave animal. But, and also, I don't want to be offensive, I don't want to look offensive. Do you know, in Arabic language, they use the terminology of he is feminine and he is masculine. Do you understand the meaning of that? So lion is masculine character. Okay, so for example, you did something to the lion. Okay, so the masculine character person will just ignore it. But the feminine one will not ignore it, will carry on hitting you back, kicking you back for many, many times. Whenever it will have a chance, it will harm you. Why? Because you did something wrong about a couple of 100 years ago. So do you understand? So masculine, feminine character. So, but with the lion, it is masculine. Okay. So that's why we say to have an enemy who is lion is more honorable than to have a friend who is hyena. Okay. And the next one is a tiger, the character of the tiger. First of all, it is real arrogant. The real arrogance is, you can say, the description of the tiger. Okay, because first of all, it's very beautiful, as well as very big and strong. Okay, so normally the character of the people, the man, will be strong. Okay, so and also normally they have very beautiful shape. You know, the like muscles, etc., and very beautiful face. Okay, but with the lions, it's not necessary. So lions could be very ugly also, but tigers very rarely. So tiger man is all the time handsome. Okay, so if there will be actors, they will be very successful because they have very, you can say, beautiful, handsome face. You know, yeah. So it gives them arrogance, and it's not arrogance. Do you know there is a level above the arrogance? What do they call it? So he will be just insane of his arrogance, you know. Sorry? Yeah, so it's just over, you know. Yeah. Sorry? Pride. So, yeah, pride maybe, yeah, pride. And also, do you know, it keeps the secret, whatever it's concerned for, it keeps it for a long time. Okay, so for example, it's making some business so that information will not go out before business is done. Okay, so for example, let's suppose that you have a friend who is tiger, and he is making plan of, you can say, learning your secrets of how to control the business. So it will be next to you, pretending to be your close friend till it gets your secret, and after that he will just leave you alone. Okay, and you will be unable to find out that it was just pretending, imitating, but realistically it's one of your enemies, you know, because it keeps the secret so deep in the heart that no one knows, no one can read it in their eyes, you know. You know, for example, sometimes what happens, some people will come and they want some money from you, you know. They will just come shaking your hand saying, oh, mashallah, you're a good person, you know. From their face you can read that they want something from you. But with the tiger it's impossible. Okay? With the tiger you know that you will believe that he's your friend. And also it has, again, as a lion, it has really high, you can say, potentiality in terms of if it wants to, for example, it will not go for the rats and mice, but it will be hunting gazelle. Okay, so that type of concern. And also, when even lion, if it's strong but it's peaceful animal, it doesn't want to get engaged into the battle unless if it is to protect itself or to survive. But with the tiger, it gets so it loves the battle. For example, if we have some brothers who is a tiger, from nothing he wants to make up problems, frictions, because that's how it stays awake. Okay. Yeah. And also in terms of the character, it's feminine. Okay, so makes just low things, like. And the next animal is cheetah. I don't know if we have. Do I have enough time? Okay. Or shall? Sorry. Sorry.
Tigress is the same as well.
Mainly yes. In terms of the difference is mainly between lion and lioness. Tiger and tiger, there is not much difference. Sorry? Okay, that's fine. And also something you can say shared between the tiger and lion, they both are shy animals. Okay, so because both of them are strong, so they don't like the people to find out when they're doing maybe small things here and there. They will get ashamed. But a lion, the reason of that is self-respecting, but tiger is arrogance, makes them to be shy. Okay. The next is cheetah. Cheetah. Do you know the animal? I think I've got the
fastest.
Yes, cheetah. So it's African animal. Cheetah. Okay, that's fine. And also it is, I would say, no, leave it. It's okay. Have a say. So it's exactly the same as a tiger, but the difference between the tiger and the cheetah likes when you are, you can say, looking after it. Okay, so rewarding, saying good words, so that thanking for nothing also, So for example, it's just the ugliest person most of the time, because the head and the body will not be like, you can say balanced, So they are not very good looking. Okay, they could be attractive but not good looking. Okay, so then you have to say, mashallah, you are very handsome. So they like that type of things, Okay, and when you are eating, time to time try to serve. Okay, just put a tea. Okay, and ask, do you want that? So they like that type of things. Okay, but in terms of arrogance and in terms of being pride, it is the same as a tiger. Okay, and also it is also a shy animal because it's strong. Okay, fast. So there is some you can say bright sides of the animal. So that's why it makes them to be shy. Okay, because normally what is not shy animal? It is the low animals. Weak animals or that type of animals will not be ashamed. Okay, but the strong animals, even if it is bad character, but they will be shy. Okay, shy character. Okay, and also it looks, it looks like Porsche style of life, and it will do whatever it can to get to that Porsche style of a life. Okay, and also it's again as a tiger, it likes to make up a story out of nothing. Okay, so for example, maybe we can say a lion will fight only to defend, but these two animals, they're born to fight. Okay. Okay, so the next is the bear. As you know, there are many types of bears, and we're talking mainly about the brown and the black bears. First of all, is normally it's the heedless people. not very sharp, not very bright, just a bit heedless, and they are very into the marriage issues, you know. Okay, so they like that type of issues, like intim and that type of issues, you know, the sexual issues. They're into it very much, very deeply. Okay. So it is the mainly reason which makes them to go down. Okay, and also it has a very strong patience, you can say. Okay, very patient animal, and also likes to do things for nothing, just out of wasting the time, you know. So, for example, lion, you will rarely find the lion doing something which doesn't have any benefit. But with the bears, you can find quite often doing something and there is no benefit behind. Why? Because just nothing else to do, you know, nothing else. So they will be doing that type of things. Okay. Now, for example, maybe the same thing they can carry on repeating again, you know. So, for example, they're passing some test. It's just enjoyable test. They will do it again and again, you know. Okay, so it's just a strange thing about them. And also, in terms of knowledge, they are not the people of knowledge. Okay, they have been created to be just a bit heedless and a bit ignorant. Okay, so it's just a strange thing. And the next is hyena. We have a couple of hyenas. So I would call them just insane, you know, Majnoon. Insane, I would say Rambo. Insane Terminator. Okay, strong, very strong, but insane. Do you know? Okay, so do you know, normally they say when Allah gives big muscles, so that is just a muscle is taking from the brain, you know. I would call them like that, you know. So they feed their muscles by their brain, you know. Do you understand? So it's just big person with no brain in the head. So in the place of brain there is biryani. So that's what hyena is. But it's a big liar, and also it's very, you can say, proud in his own locality. But when it goes away, I'm sorry, it's just other way around. When it's in the other places, other cities, it will be very proud, you know, showing off. But in its own land, it's very miserable person. Okay, and also they're again heedless. They're also heedless most of the time. Okay, so they are not. If you have a friend, in terms, so it's not a good partner for you to carry the business. They're strong, it's okay, but they all the time need some, you can say, lion to be their head. So just to stop them from evil and to control them. Or otherwise they're insane and very, you can say, miserable character. The next is wolf. Wolf is one of the most, you can say, bravest animals. So even, for example, the lion is brave, but strength and the being brave and strength is just equal. But with the wolf is not equal. So they are more brave than strong. So the strength is less. Do you understand? Yeah. And also it's thief all the time. So even if it's your friend, so when it goes to your house, so maybe you may lose a couple of books here, there, you know, apple, okay, and you will find it in his pocket, you know. And also, it's all the time pretends to be oppressed, but realistically, it is the one who is oppressing. So in the human being level, so all the time goes and does very ugly things, and then comes and complains to you that they did oppress him. But realistically, he is the one who did oppress them. Do you understand? Yeah. And also, whenever he will see the oppression, it gives them enjoyment. They like it. Okay, they enjoy actually. Okay, you know, normally the normal person, when you will see two people fighting, you will be sorry for both. Am I right? but they will get engaged and they will like it. They will watch it and it gives them enjoyment. Okay, so that is wolf character. Okay, and the next one is a pig. I would call it generous Don Juan. It's like a generous lover. Okay, so it's like a man created for the enjoyment, but generous also, with miserable character. Okay, so it's very into the sexual activities and enjoyments, any type of things. Okay, so it can try anything, even something that you cannot imagine on the sexual level. Okay, so normally what we can imagine, so you will get married to some lady, and then maybe you may try different things, different styles. But the pork man will do something. When you will see it, you will say, is it possible that someone can do it? Human being can do it. Do you understand? Okay, so I would say just top. You can say person to try anything related to the sexuality. And also, it's, as I said, it's very generous. Pork man is very generous man. It's not because it is noble, but it's because nothing has value for them, except the sexuality, Okay, so for example, just mobile phone of the pork person, and because he needs mobile phone, just he can make phone calls to to the ladies, etc. So that's, or otherwise he doesn't need it. So if you ask him, he may say, okay, take it, doesn't matter. Okay, and also it's the animal which never forgives, keeps the, you can say, mistakes that you do toward that animal for very long time, and it may take revenge even after 10 years. Okay, so it's very difficult to forgive the people. What do they call this type of people in English? Do you know the people who keep the evil for a long time?
Grudge.
Sorry? Grudge. Okay. Rasulullah in one of the ahadith said, the people of the camel are grudge, and the people of the sheep are soft and forgiving. So Rasulullah was talking about the people of Najd and people of Yemen, because normally they say you are whatever you eat. Am I right? So the people who eat camel meat, normally they do have that character, arrogant, proud, and they have evil in their heart. They never forgive you. Okay, and even they will kill you, and just on your last breath, they just will go to say, did you get it? Do you understand? So that type of personality, evil personality. Okay, but the people who eat a sheep, they have soft character and forgiving, and even if you harm them, they try to give good interpretation. You didn't mean, okay, or because he had a stress, he's depressed, so that's why that type of good interpretations. Okay, so Rasulullah said, the people who eat a camel, they are pride and arrogant and with the evil in their heart. But the people who eat sheep, so they are soft and humble, forgiving people. Yeah. Okay, so and also the last thing maybe I would mention about the pork man. It is the person who again is even more engaged into wasting their time for not beneficial thing more than even bear. Okay, can waste all of the, you can say, young age just enjoying and just for nothing. And even normally when we become mature after the age of 30, 35, we become mature, but pork man never becomes mature. Even when it's dying. Okay, so angel of death is coming. If it can play, the PlayStation for the last time, it will do. Do you understand? So it is that type of character. Okay, so if you have a friend, pork man, so he's not good at all for any serious projects. You are traveling together or you are trying to set up a business, so just avoid the pork man. Okay. And also, the next is the monkey. And as you know, there are many types of a monkey. And we're just giving just main characters. Or otherwise, there are predator monkeys, okay, and there are not predator monkeys. But the main character, you can say, which is available with most of them, first is, it is again just time waster. In terms of like, it likes to play. Okay, wasting a time for something which doesn't benefit them financially or spiritually, but it's very smart. Okay, so maybe you are planning for something, and that plan on which you spend 2 days, it can design within 2 hours. Very quick and smart. Okay, but then because its character is getting bored very quickly, so that's why it doesn't support them. Or otherwise, they could be bright people, because they are very smart, but then they like to waste their time. So if they wouldn't have that, they would be genius people, you know. And also, again, they do have big portion of heedlessness. Big portion of heedlessness. It's very strange. How come that they are smart and heedless in the same time? So they are smart about the things that they're thinking of, but they may miss the most important things, which is siding their project. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And also, it likes to make sometimes evil strategies to get to its point. Okay, so for example, do you know if it is lion man and lion wants to get something, lion will never pretend that it's dead, you know. Okay, but monkey man doesn't mind. Monkey man doesn't mind to do it. The most important thing, just get whatever you. For example, there is banana. No one sees it, you know. And so monkey man can, play, imitate as it's dancing, you know. But when it goes there, just takes it and runs away. Lion man never does it. Lion man just goes, so everyone knows that it's going to the banana, you know. So that's the difference actually. The next is.
Is the same with the chimpanzee?
It's just main character. Okay, so then chimpanzee in comparison with the gorilla. So just look at the character of the animals. Okay, so because chimpanzee is not very strong. Okay, so it will imitate, but when gorilla may not imitate all the time. Do you understand? Yeah, so it's just like that. And the next is a dog. Most of us may say it's very bad to be dog man, but I would say it's better than most of the animals actually. Sorry?
How many dogs are there from the inside?
You mean dog or dog family? One. You have one. But no. But dogs, we don't have any dog in here. But dog family, we have one actually. Yeah. What do they call the dog family? Which includes the hyena, which includes wolf, which includes, do you know these animals? Shagal, what do they call it? Shagal? I have the pictures, I'll show it to you. So anyway, dog. Sorry? Jackal, yes. Jackal. Sorry? Yes. So all of them are dog family. What do they call it? Dog family, okay, that's fine. Okay, anyway, so dog is, first of all, is domestic. Means it's not wild. Okay, so it means it's social actually. You will never find, for example, serial killer who will be dog. Do you understand? Serial killer mainly will be lion, tiger, lion with damaged psychological side, or otherwise lion cannot be. So lion is just one-off, but not serial killer, you know. It's with damaged, you can say, brain, or it is leopard and that type of animals. Okay, dog cannot be. Okay, why? Because dog likes people, very social, you know. Just any type of people can get engaged very easily. Okay, for example, it is just Muslims. He will come and speak about how Rasulullah migrated, you know. And it is Christians, he will come about Jesus, you know. And So it is very social man, kind person, kind personality. And most of the do you know when Hollywood will promote for the hero of the movie, so mainly it is the hero will be with the face of a dog. Do you understand? So it will not be wide, but it is a bit long face, you know. Okay, and eyes are not very far from each other, but close to each other, and also not like a flat nose or like big nose as a lion, but actually is tight and long, you know. So when they describe the, you can say the feature of the star in Hollywood, so it is dogman mainly, either wolf or either dogman. Okay, yeah, it's the same as when it will be a lady star on Hollywood, so it's mainly to be tigress or lioness, because then that's how they look what we think that it is beautiful now. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, but in the past, actually the man with tight face, it wouldn't be like a sign of beauty, being handsome, but it's just a condition of the time actually, because whatever they promote on the TVs screens, so that's what people think that it is beautiful. Okay, so the movie star, the Hollywood movie star in our time is wolf or dog. Okay. Yeah.
Is that right, Shaykh? Like in countries like Mauritania, they like the men, they like women who are fat and big, and out in European countries, they like women to be slim.
Exactly. Yeah. Each single place they do have their own thing. Yeah. Now, even if you will just have a look on the painting of maybe 17th century, so it is the people with the fat, you know. So it's not slim, but slim is all the time when they paint the witches, you know. Do you understand? So it is just mentality of the generations, different generations. But now the star hero all the time is wolf or dog man. Dog is good, but wolf is not good all the time. Okay, so anyway, so what do we say about the dog? So it is very social, but the biggest problem when it gets engaged to the people, it's not out of sincerity, but it's seeking for something. At least the minimum thing that they're looking for is not to get bored, you know. So when it gets engaged to you, so you shouldn't think that he is doing it out of being very pious to you, but because on its own will get bored, you know. Do you understand? So just distinguish between this and that. And also it's greedy animal. And also it likes to defend. Okay. Sometimes it may defend someone, some stranger. Let's suppose that I'm dog man and I see two people fighting with each other. I will just go to defend one of them. Okay, why? It's not because he's my friend, but because that's what my nature is. It does make sense. Yeah, and also it has really high patience. Okay, and the beautiful thing about dog man, it never forgets the small good things that you have done ever. Even after 10 years, he will remember what you have done to it. You know, so dog man is, on that sense, is maybe one of the best. Right? So,
the English keep their dogs and they say they're very loyal. Would you say dogs?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So, for example, once it needed some money to borrow, and you did borrow. It was just small amount, £100. Even after 10 years, he will remember. He will never forget it. Okay, and so you can rely on him when you need support because you did some good to it. So then it will never forget about it. So on this side, if you can protect yourself from the evil of the dog, a dog could be the best partner, business partner. Okay, as well as the best in terms of traveling. Okay, because it defends you when it's needed. Okay, it will be fighting to protect you. Okay, but you have to be aware that not all the time a dog will be doing it out of sincerity. But sometimes it may do it because it's getting benefit somehow. Okay. Yep. In terms of Courage, it's again one of the really, brave animals. Dog is a really brave animal, but it's not shy at all. It never will be ashamed. Okay, for example, let's suppose that you found me doing something strange. For example, some sin, okay, which I was doing on my private, you can say, level. And then you found me. So if I would be tiger, I would be really, really ashamed. But dog is just fine for him, May say, come and join, So what? For the dog, so what? So what? So that's the matter. And also, the worst thing about the dog, it's very, very bad behaving. So when it gets engaged to the debate, it may actually insult you. Okay, and also it doesn't use the good language, but the street language actually. Do you understand? Okay, even though if it is a good friend, but its tongue is very dirty. Okay, and behaving is just zero. Okay, so just be careful about that. So as I said, so for example, when you will go to the huge presentation, normally you wouldn't take your dog friend with you. But when it's the serious matters, you will be with your dog friend. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. No, because normally, how do we go to the presentations? We may go, what do they call that bird with the beautiful tail? Sorry?
Peacock.
Peacock. Peacock is very bad friend in terms of supporting, but it is good in the presentation, You're presenting your business company, for example, you will take that animal instead of the dog, who will be helping you in the hard situation. And also, it's when dog man is away from its country, in the abroad, it will be very miserable. But in its own country, it will be lion, Do you understand? Yeah. So when you're traveling with a dog man friend, you will see the difference. So abroad it will become so miserable, okay, but in the homeland it will be very brave, trying to show that it's brave. Okay, shall we carry on? We have 2 more subjects. Do I have enough time? Okay, the next one. The next one is a fox. The most common thing is not most common, but the main character of a fox, that it's coward. It's not brave at all. Okay, as well as whenever it speaks, definitely you have to know that it's not saying the truth. So if you will go with opposite of what he's saying, you will be right. Okay, and also it's the best in terms of preparing strategies, but the killing one, very evil strategies. So it will be, you have a business partner, okay, and business partner will give you an advice of buying some company. Why? Because this company is very, you can say, respectable. Now you have to know that it's trying to kill you. If you buy that company, definitely you will be bankrupted. You will lose away all of your money, and then where it will go? So the foxman is doing it to get his own company better. Okay, that does make sense. Yeah. So. And also, it's very with very miserable character. Okay, and normally, how do you recognize them from the face? It's very tight face, and they don't have solid eyes. Okay, so it's the people who normally can move their eye very quickly, Okay, yeah. So as far as I know, we don't have any in here. But actually, in the society, it's even much more common than wolf. Okay, so just be careful. And it's the people, when you need a friend, So it's the first people to come to you. Okay, as well as the first people to leave you. Okay, so when you will go to when you move from one city to the other city, so the first ever people who will come to you, you have to know that majority of them are foxes. Okay, because they will come to find out, is there anything good from you or not? Or is there anything, are you strong to cause them any harm? So that's why they come, not out of making friends, you know. So the first ever people, when you move from one city to the other, are the foxmen. Okay, so but be careful. And the next is it Karakal? Karakal, how to spell it? I'll just show it to you, it's better. Okay, so just watch yourself. A couple of you are going to be this animal. It's mainly. Do you remember I said about the Hollywood actresses, the stars. So it's mainly these type of animals, you know, women. So when you will see it, definitely you will recognize some of the stars that you know. So that's what it is. What do they call it? Caracal, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so it is first of all, it's do you know the people with tough character? Okay, it's very brave and very smart, quick to understand, and also it. Do you know sometimes when you are fighting, for example, if you are fighting with me, you will hit my face. But when you're fighting with this type of person, so he will be destroying my expensive clothes, you know. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So that type of, you can say, character. And also the beautiful thing about it, when you need a good advice, you have to go to that type of personality. Okay, so the caracal man is the best to advise you. Because it's very smart, so it will give you right advice. Okay, so it's not like a foxman who will cheat you to kill you, but this will give you right advice. And also, but the problem with it, as I said, it's very bad to have the enemy who is a caracal man. Okay, and also it's very arrogant. Okay, so you know, being arrogant, it's the main character of you can say the cat family, because mashallah they are well off all the time, like strong animals. So that's why they are arrogant. Or in the best situation, it will be self-respecting, but still it will look like arrogance. Okay. And the next one is jackal. Jackal. Do I have any jackals today? How do you know that? No, I didn't. Are you sure? Okay. First of all, it's smart animal. Smart animal. And also, the good thing is about it, you can keep it as a friend. Okay, but it's not smart in terms of making projects and business, you can say advices. But smart in terms of like learning, teaching, studying, you can say academical research. So that is the man of that field. But in terms of like a realistic like business projects, and he's not the man, he's not the right person. And also, it is the person with very small amount of evil. Most of the animals, they have an evil and it's on good level. Okay, so for example, the tiger, as I said, if you do something wrong to them, you didn't mean that, but it happened. They will never forgive you, and they will carry on taking revenge again and again and again. Okay, but with jackal, it's slightly different. So it may forgive you, or when it takes revenge just on very small level, it may say something to harm you, to upset you, but not on physical level. But again, the one common, you can say, character with the dog family, they do have all the time strategy, bad, evil strategy. But then the question is not question about do they have it, definitely they have, but the question could be on which level. So the jackal is not on very high level. Okay, so for example, if it gives you advice of buying some company, so it's not to finish you off completely, but just to cause just small bit of damage. Do you understand? Yeah. But for example, fox, just to finish you off. For 100, the same thing about wolf, maybe I would say. Okay, because wolf is really good in terms of having battle, but you can say on from undercover. Okay, so that's the main thing. The next animal is mole. Mole. Do you know the mole? We may have one here.
Is that fair?
Sorry? Yeah. Because it's flesh, am I right? Am I right? What's mole? Sorry? Okay. Do I have any here today? Sorry? Okay. For some reason, the majority of the people are that type of animals. Do you know the jarbu and the rat and raccoon, that type of animals? Yeah, the majority are like that. So we're talking about this animal now. What do they call it? It's not rat, but it's mole. Mole? Mole, yeah. Okay, so the first of all, it has very miserable character. Okay, so definitely, if you will spend 10 minutes with that type of people, you will get really, you can say, huge darkness in your heart, which will be enough for another couple of days. You know, how to explain it? Do you know, sometimes when you sit down with the people, the language that they use, it will be so offensive, so miserable, that even if you was very, you can say, excited today, so you will come back home being very down, which will be enough for another 2-3 days. So it is that type of people who create that, okay? And it is the people who can actually listen perfectly. Do you know? So for example, there are people who see and there are people who hear, who listen. Okay, so just by spending 10 minutes, they can find out many secrets of yours from the way how you speak and from the way what you speak. So it is the people of listening. Okay, so when you are, if you have a friend like that, so try to keep your tongue as much as you can, because their hearing is just perfect. Okay, and normally it is the people to destroy, people of destruction actually. Okay, so there are people who build and there are people who destroy, but these are the people of destroying more. Okay, so that's the thing. And also that type of people, normally they are very poor in terms of psychology, in terms of you can say even the social, you can say standard of their life is very tight. So they may not have many friends because of their tongue and behaving. Okay, as well as their you can say horizon of you can say mental horizon is also very tight. So you cannot speak with that type of people about philosophical things or even about spiritual, religious issues also. It is the people of very, narrow-minded of mentality, narrow-minded people. And also it is the people of evil. Okay, so it is the people. So normally how we say he's like a scorpion. So normally we describe the mole man as a scorpion. Okay, so very narrow-minded. No any spiritual beauty for them is beautiful. Okay, or maybe there could be some word of wisdom or very beautiful story. It's not for them, When you speak it, tell the story of wisdom, for them it's so what, It's the same as very beautiful rose. If you give it to the donkey, it will just enjoy eating it, So that are the people. Okay, so beautiful stories for them, so what, So what? So they are poor normally, financially, socially, and mentally poor people, narrow-minded people. The next is maybe inshallah we'll just describe the last animal, and that's the a rabbit. We have plenty of rabbits. Today we have a couple of rabbits. But rabbit is, it's funny, but it's really good people, The rabbit people are really good people, really enjoyable people, soft character. Okay, and only the thing, it could be their pride. Because normally they are handsome, but according to themselves. They think that they are beautiful, but they are not all the time, but they think that they are. So that's why their pride. Yeah, and the good thing, they do not have an evil towards other people. Okay, and also it's the people who don't have very very big needs. Just small bits of things will be just sufficient for them. For example, if you have a partner, business partner, and basically you have to split the income. So if you give them 10%, that will be more than enough for them. So it is that type of personalities. Okay, but for example, if it would be tiger, then it should be over 50% for them. Lion, at least 50. Okay, but for the rabbit man, 5% will do for them, So that type of good personalities. Okay. And also they have really high level of, you can say, passions. Okay, they can carry on working, even if there is no outcome of it, they will carry on work. They don't mind. So very strong people actually. Inshallah, anyway, we'll stop here. And definitely, it's not something that you can know through me, but just by reading the behaving of the animals, you can just get the character of them. Okay, but we'll just speak out the most common things in our lectures. So maybe by the next month we'll finish off the characters of the rest of the animals, and we'll go to, you can say, some of the signs of distinguishing if it is predator, because sometimes the animals, the predator animals, they may look like birds. So where is the distinguishing line? So that type of thing. So anyway, 2 more lectures, and then you will have the main important principles of the faith reading. And after that, it will be depending on your own strength of understanding. Okay. Any question, please? You know, leopard and panther, it's mainly cats all the time. The one thing, they are very smart all the time. Okay, and most of them, or maybe no any exemption, they make strategies. Okay, and also another thing, so the main thing about leopard, it will be that they are actually more into the again, as we did say, so more into the enjoyments and being thanked and being appreciated for the things that they haven't done never, you know. So that's the main characters. So because anything in between that we missed, so between tiger and between the rest of the animals, you have to just make them up. Okay, because it will be something in between. Okay, so as bigger is the animal, that proud it will be, and that you can say open it will be. And as small is the animal, so its evil will be more, because cat is the animal of the evil, but because not enough strength, so it will be making a lot of evil strategies, you know. So that's how you should work it out, actually. Okay, anyway, inshallah, maybe in the last lecture, we'll just only bring the pictures of the people that we don't know, okay, just to try to implement the knowledge. So it will give you just better understanding, inshallah. Sorry? Okay, so that's all for today then, inshallah.